blocked and they just dumped it behind.
So Shashamov of Uzbekistan, another 169er man. So this is the man who's in 5th place. So this is for 369.
So we got so caught up in, analyzing that lift. I mean, he's in this terrible position now. Missed his opener.
No, Shashamov.
No.
Not Shashamov.
No. I'm sorry, the Korean lifter, the lift that kept going over and over again.
Yeah.
No, Shashamov's he's up to bat now.
Yeah.
Here's his moment to shine.
2nd place in the overall.
Yeah. The clean and jerk, to me, is really the toughest lift as far as just kind of having to be a little mean. You have to have some fire in your belly, and I think that's part of what that shout was right before he jerked. It was getting a little bit of adrenaline going, a little meanness.
In the clean and jerk, of course, that puts him up into the bronze medal position behind Hernandez and behind the Frenchman, Enequin, who clean and jerk 202.
Very respectable clean and jerk, especially in B session.
So that we haven't highlighted, which will also be important in the clean and jerk. Hernandez of Cuba weighed in at 83.05.
Oh, light.
So he's got body weight on his side. Now that's definitely worth another kilo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't even look at his weight. That's very light for this class.
So that that could be you could now say 211.
Are we accepting bets?
So Kim, 2nd attempt. This of course to secure a total for him.
Missed the jerk on his opener. Oh, solid. Watch the bar, the ends of the bar flex a little bit as he dips and drives to the jerk. Lifters are going to use that mechanical energy to their advantage on the jerk. It's so effective, in fact, there's a rule in weightlifting. It's called oscillation. You cannot oscillate the bar. You cannot intentionally just bounce it up and down to get it going. You can see the bar flexing, though. Bars are designed to do that. That's not a flaw. Very high-quality bars, and they're engineered to have a little bit of that whip.
So, Mr. Kashatrian for Armenia.
Yeah, we should hear some noise behind us, I think.
Yeah, so this is for 375, and to put that into context, 375 would take him into the overall lead. He'd be a kilo ahead of Hernandez of Cuba, but of course he'd still be, well actually 201 on the bar. He'd still be 9 kilos short of him in terms of the clean and jerk, but incidentally, or coincidentally, they both weighed in at 83.05. But of course, who got to 210 first?
Exactly, yeah.
Which counts in this sport, so technically Hernandez has that edge.
His arm went. Doesn't happen very often, the jerk, but that's his arm. His arm popped out.
That's a dislocation of the elbow for people.
Yeah, or could break. Either one, dislocation. He's being blocked from the front by the loader so that the audience doesn't have to watch the agony of this. His arm's going to dislocate or break at the elbow on the jerk. I'll explain why more in a minute. It's going to be the right arm. There it goes. And then he almost gets hit with the bar. Okay, happens more often in the snatch. Watch the right arm. Yeah. Sometimes the lifter goes into shock, and it's not that agonizing. He's obviously in a lot of pain.
Yeah, I mean, it's, another injury that's really painful, which, you often hear the screams about is something like a cruciate knee ligament, but this is...
Did walk away with substantial points from these two guys.
Marty Rossian's a completely different problem. That was in his head.
Right.
This man, sadly, we'll try and find out what
But the net result is no points. Well, not no points, but fewer points.
Yeah. And a little exodus of Armenian supporters. But Sinkrayan now back on the stage now for Romania. The competition goes on, of course. That means that 2 of our 6 have now been knocked out and went down to 4, including Lu Yong. So the task has got significantly easier for the defending champion to make up that deficit.
Yeah, did you maybe even pointed this out? So Kuznetsov is also pulled out.
Has he? He hadn't a few moments ago,
Yeah,
but
he has now too, yeah. Pretty soon, if you just stay on your feet and get a lift, you could do well in this class. They're falling like flies. That was a good lift, though, seriously.
Yeah, Sinclair with 366, so he's making new marks every time here, and that's the end of his competition, but that is a good step forward. He's currently 4th overall, and in the clean and jerk ranking, he's up into the bronze medal position, but not likely to stay there for too much longer. But that was not what his evening was about. He had a personal set of targets, and just to put it into context, Sinclair had entered 375. He's made 366, so it hasn't all gone to plan, but nonetheless, I don't think that's too bad an evening for someone with relatively little experience at his level. Now, Nuridinov for Uzbekistan, who's sitting on also sitting on 366 at the moment, but has got one attempt to go further, and this is a 4 kilo increase to take him up to 370.
Well, he didn't quit. I mean, he let the bar just drive him back down to the platform. He knew he didn't have that lock yet.
Well, you know, I was really impressed with the second attempt where he really,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the door's been open, but just because the opportunity's been presented and someone's still got to capitalize on it, this guy's got to produce lifts. He's got an opening, but only he can produce the lifts at this point.
So this will be for a 374 total, which will put him up into 2nd place overall. And the reason for that is that he's actually heavier than Hernandez of Cuba. And he also put him into 3rd place in the clean and jerk because he's heavier than Enequin, who's currently in 2nd place. Good clean.
Very quick under the bar. Oh, solid jerk, just punched it. That's just what you'd like to see. Yeah. He's quick under the bar in the clean, and then he just really punches that jerk overhead. No hesitation.
You know, Yufkin, and they've got a guy tomorrow, triple junior world champion in the 94, Alexander Ivanov, and they think that Ivanov could be the big star for them. Won the junior worlds for the last 3 seasons, Ivanov. Actually, it's going to be confusing tomorrow night. I'll tell you why, Randy, because we got 2 Ivanovs in the competition.
No.
Yeah, and their Christian names both begin with A. Artem and Alexander.
So this is worse than the Martirosians.
Oh yeah,
it's like So this is interesting. China's being conservative here.
Well, I think this is probably quite a sensible move.
Yeah, he's come down. He was in 205. Was in his opening at 202.
This is where you react to what's happening around you. Let's get a total and then see what happens. So this is for 372.
Whoa, heavy for him. Heavy hand out of position. Jerk was a lot better than the clean, but
tell you what, maybe it wasn't a question of choosing to adjust. Maybe it was a question of having to adjust.
Yeah, and being smart enough to recognize the reality, what was going on in that warm-up room.
Yeah, it questions. It's also often a question of who tempers whose ambition. Sometimes the lifter has to be cooled by the coach. Other times it's the coach who has to be cooled by the lifter.
Yeah, the coach is really supposed to be the conservative force. The lifter should be the horse that's just pulling. But the coach has got to know when to restrain him a little bit.
Now, Mr. Zielinski coming out for his first attempt at 202. Now, this is going to take him up to 375 and the lead in the total. So this would take him past Hernandez in the overall. But they're still way short of Hernandez in the clean and jerk. And it could be a gold medal that's coming Hernandez's way.
Came pretty close to that, touching that right elbow to the right knee, I thought. Maybe not. Solid jerk, though. That's good. Well, we've seen that. We've seen gold medals come out of the B session.
Schmorzkopf. That's what we call it, isn't it?
Right.
Doing a
Yes.
Doing a Schmorzkopf.
Yeah, and you were instrumental in trying to reduce the chances of that happening, right? By making these totals that people put in have some teeth to them, right?
Yeah, with the 20 kilo and the 15 kilo rule. Although we've still seen at this championship coaches who clearly manipulated and played that rule. But the basic rule, if you're not familiar with it, is you enter a total, and in the men's division you have to finish within 20 kilos of that enter total. If you do not, if you drop short of that by 21 kilos, then whatever you've done is just cancelled out.
Yeah.
And it's 15 kilos for the women. Now, Lahun, last year's silver medalist with 166. Is this an opportunity for him to move up?
Right.
Lifted 209 in Goyang.
Strong, clean. Stood up with that very easily. Oh, very routine left.
Yeah. Well, that was very strong overhead, very well put together, and 3 white lights, and takes Lahun with 369 only up into 5th place, Randy, but he's within 6 kilos of the lead. So it's Janinski who leads at the moment overall, from Hernandez, who's in overall silver by lighter body weight than Yufkin of Russia. Lu Yong, the defending champion, 3 kilos off the lead.